Marketer of the Day, number 495. Market yourself in voiceover by thinking outside the box with Susan Berkley. Hey everyone, and thanks for listening to the Marketer of the Day podcast. We're joined today by somewhat of a celebrity. I'll just say she is a celebrity, Susan Berkley. And you probably don't know her name, but you've heard her voice from AT&T, Citibank, and many others. And she has a book called Speak to Influence: How to Unlock the Hidden Power of Your Voice. And her latest book is called The Persuasion Code. Now, she's the president and founder of the Great Voice Company, which you can find at greatvoice.com. And she provides leadership training in persuasive speaking techniques for business and sales professionals worldwide. And she works with top marketers to help them optimize the voices on their video sales letters, achieving conversion lifts as high as 20%. And she has all kinds of credentials, including a stint as a traffic reporter on the Howard Stern show. So Susan, glad to be talking to you today.
Hey, it's a pleasure, Robert. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, glad to invite you. And my business partner, Lance Tomshiro, and I, we've worked with Bill DeWeese in the past. And the other day, I sort of showed my business partner my upcoming schedule, and your name stuck out to him. He recognized you, so you're a celebrity.
Yeah, thank you very much.
and so just to clarify, and I looked you up on YouTube real quick before we spoke. So are you like the voicemail voice of AT&T? Like when I call someone and it says like, if you're satisfied with your recording, press 1. Is that you?
You actually hear me on Citibank. So if you call if you have a Citi card, you call and you hear me saying, your account balance is $1,136 because you're a friend of mine. So I'm there are thousands and thousands of my recordings out there.
Well, fantastic. So yeah, that's super cool. You and your friends must get a kick out of that, of being able to call that automated system and it's your voice on there, right?
Well, what's really strange is when my family members get my own voice. So my dad was telling me a story about how he was in a business meeting and he went to pay the bill. It was a Citibank customer, and the card was declined. No problem. He pulled out cash, took care of it. It was one of those things where the payment, crossed in the mail. And he got back to the office. He called the bank and he got my voice saying, your card has been declined. Do not use your card. And he told me he was yelling into the phone going, but Susan, it's Dad. I'm good for the money. And all I could say was, your card has been declined. Do not use your card. So yeah, it's really strange doing what I do.
Well, super funny. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people out there who are aspiring voiceover artists, and maybe they've done a lot of voices or voices 1, 2, 3 or other things like that. And it seems like a ton of people are struggling, but it seems like you've had a lot of success. So do you think there's something special that you've done to earn that?
I started training voice talent. Now we've trained thousands of people over the past 30 years. I've had my company, and what I am a working voice talent. So what I teach people is what works, especially how to market yourself in voiceover. And so when people come to us, they go to greatvoice.com. We start them off with a voice assessment, and then depending on what they want to do, we have different programs that help prepare them for a career as a professional voiceover artist, making their demos, helping them with their marketing, all of that, mentoring, all that type of stuff.
Okay, great. So you would say that if someone out there, if they want to do well in voiceover, then they should just maybe start from scratch and take this assessment so that way they can be more focused as opposed to casting a wide net?
Absolutely. They should go to greatvoice.com. And when you go to our site and you click where it says voiceover training, you'll see hundreds of what do they call, reviews from satisfied people who've gone through our program. So we're the recognized expert in training people how to get into voiceover.
Super cool. So they go to greatvoice.com, they take this assessment, and then they're on the track. And then, what's the big picture? What happens once someone takes this test and it's time to move forward? What sort of things have to happen?
Yeah, so the first thing, you need to really work with a coach because nobody is born knowing how to do voiceover. It seems like it'll be really easy because people think, oh, it's just talking. It's so easy, but that's not true. The point is that you have to read other people's words and make them sound conversational and like they are your own. And so we in our coaching programs take you step by step through a process that helps you to do that. And then you make a demo. And then we teach you how to market that and get out into the marketplace. there's opportunities in over 14 different niche voices, different markets in voiceover.
Okay, cool. You get that coach. You figure out how to read a script so that way it sounds natural, not like you're just reading something monotone. You get that demo, you market it, and so the everything up until the demo sounds good, but then now when it's time to market it, what does that mean exactly?
Yeah, so this is the piece that a lot of people don't understand, that all marketing is the same, actually, Robert. And when I was starting my own business, it took me a while before I realized it as well. I thought that to be successful, all I needed to do was audition just a little bit better than everybody else. But really, as my mentor, my marketing mentor, Dan Kennedy, says, the who is more important than the what. The who being your customer, your clients, and your prospects. So when we work with a student, one thing that distinguishes us is that we do an assessment of what they've done in their life and what their potential is. Most of our students are already well into their work life, and they want to do voiceover either as something to do in retirement or a second career, a way to make some extra money. And so we take a look at what they've done in their professional life. Like maybe they had a background in medicine or training or teaching in some way. And then we help match them with a voiceover niche where they would already be well suited. And then we help them with their training and their skills and to do a real marketing plan like you would for any other business. The first thing you need to do is to build a list, just like in any other business, and have lead magnets and be very consistent in following up with people. And it's just like in any other marketing and starting any other business. That is really what separates the people who become successful in voiceover and those who don't.
Awesome. You're making a lot of sense here. Just that maybe a lot of people out there who are spinning their wheels, who are struggling, maybe they're not treating their voiceover career like a real business. Maybe they're just kind of going through the motions, putting out auditions wherever, dabbling, not being consistent. But this is making perfect sense to treat it like a real business, look back at what your existing skills and strengths are, and then direct that into what you're doing. So that way you don't have to just start over and you don't have to learn anything new, and do these business things, have a website, build a list, have these freebies, follow up, all those great things. So that way we get some consistent results as opposed to just playing around, just farting around.
That's funny you put it that way. That's true. See, what the big mistake that people make, I think, and this is what's very hard for a lot of actors, because this is a performance type of a business, is they are all about the sound of their voice. Customer really could care less about the sound of your voice. The customer only cares about their product. We're here to sell their product. And in fact, if your voice is too obvious, you haven't done the job. You actually have to disappear into the copy. So a lot of people come to me thinking, oh, Susan, hear the incredible sound of my voice. No. You actually need to disappear. If we're listening and paying attention to your voice, something is wrong. It should be so seamless that the only thing we're doing as you're talking is forming pictures and images in our mind about the product, that we're feeling what this product is going to do for us. Your voice is taking us there. So this is the real art in voiceover. You have to be customer-centered, not voice-centered. And a lot of people have a hard time getting that. So we specialize in that. We're known for helping our clients with their marketing and building their business. Because one thing, Robert, you might not realize is the amount of money a person can make. So a lot of people do this. They just want some pocket change. They go, like you said, on Voice123 or voices.com, which are what I call the voice talent shopping malls. And they might book a small job here and there, make a few extra $100, maybe a couple of $1,000s a year. But if you really treat this like a business, you acquire a customer and you do great stuff with that customer, and they keep coming back to you again and again and again over time, that could be, 10,000, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I have one client that I brought on way back at the beginning of my career. The first job I did for them was $350. Okay, they were a big Fortune 100 company. And over the years, after working for them for almost 20 years, one day I was like really curious. I wonder how much this client is worth. And I went into my accounting software. I nearly passed out, Robert. It was $1,200,000.
Oh,
from
wow.
one job that started, the first job was $325, and most of the jobs were a few $100s here, a few $100 there, a few thousand there. But I kept this customer over many, many years. They had tremendous lifetime value. And this is where where people really make money in voiceover in the long haul. 5 years into their career, 10 years into their career. This is not a way to get rich quick, but it is a way, something that can build for you if you find your niche and you do a great job serving your customers and you treat it like a business. A lot of people just want to do this on the side as a little fun thing. That's totally cool. I didn't. I really had aspirations to build an empire. And that's what I did. I started a production company, and we hired myself and added, we now work in all languages. We have a huge talent pool from all over the world that we offer our customers. And we're doing work in all different types of medium, and it's really been great.
Well, super fantastic. And I love stories like this where there are businesses where you're not afraid to stretch yourself. You're not afraid to, really push it and have multiple people involved in multiple languages. And I mean, as you're explaining your kind of origin story there, what's coming to mind is that, like you said, some people treat it like a business, some people treat it like a hobby. Either one's fine, but if you treat it like a hobby, you're going to get hobby results. If you treat it like a real business, you'll get more business results. So, and you said that it's not a way to get rich quick. Like you might have those clients where it was just a few $100s next time, but then you build the relationship, you have the repeat business over years, and it can add up to, millions of dollars from even one client. But would you say that there was a certain amount of time that it took to ramp up? Like, would you say that a certain amount of time had to pass before you considered yourself really having made it with this voiceover stuff?
Well, it's all relative. Let me tell you. The first thing I booked when I started was a national network spot. Okay. And I made residuals. And what that means is I made some good money for it. So I was like, okay, I've arrived. You never know when that moment's going to come. I've had students that worked for a couple of years, nothing happened. And then boom, all of a sudden they booked one guy in particular I'm thinking about, started his career. He was working in corporate America. He wanted to spend more time with his teenage son, who was really big into sports. And, these were precious years for him. So he started a voiceover business from home and really was struggling for the first year or two. He had some savings, and then all of a sudden he booked a job, and it resulted in 90 grand. It took him a whole year to complete the job. It was a large e-learning project, but he was on his way. So it's just different for every person. The point is, it's going to depend upon how much time, how smart you are, what kind of help you have in setting your strategy and getting this done. It's really a function of the amount of work you do, just like with anything. There's no magic. There's no get rich quick. There's no being discovered. People don't realize to build any business how much work is involved. How much day in, day out, you have to be focused. You have to have a plan. You need to work. So you can do this at any level. You can just have some fun behind the mic, or you can really make it something that's going to be a real business for you. It's up to you.
Well, super great. And I agree completely. And so it sounds like there's two aspects of it, right? There's the daily grind, so to speak, of, visiting it every day and pushing forward. But then pushing forward doesn't help if you're pushing in the wrong direction. So you need to have that strategy, have the coach, have the plan. So that way your daily action actually makes a difference. And I think I saw something right before we were on the call. I kind of looked you up on YouTube a little bit, and I saw some of your videos, and I saw something where you mentioned about having those daily actions. So do you yourself have some sort of things that you do every day, or if someone's maybe limited for time and they only have 30 minutes, an hour a day, are there things that we should all be doing, maybe like an hour every day, just to keep the ball rolling here?
Oh, absolutely. So first of all, I want you to understand this, and I want to talk about this. So I've taken my business beyond voiceover now. I have a production company now. I have employees. We have clients. We have sales staff. We're working in the background. And while they're doing that, I'm developing. I've been getting into corporate consulting in the past few years, and I've been working with law firms and marketers, like you said, as we opened our call, to help them achieve a significant bump, a lift. People who are doing video sales letters. So what I've done, and in my book Persuasion Code, which you have to get through me because it's a small book, and I'll be happy to send a free copy to anyone who's qualified and asks for it. We can talk about that toward the end. What I do is I've observed, Robert, that something called the vocal influence types, and this is from my voiceover work, that there are really several types of voices that create different effects in marketing audio. So there's, the trust voice, there's the enthusiasm voice, there's the authoritative voice, there's the charm voice. And when I work with people, need to realize that there are marketers out there that are running what are called video sales letters. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, like a video with words on the screen, and as you see the words, then it's spoken out and it's persuading you to buy something.
Yeah, and usually these are nutritional products or diet products or strength products, things like that. So people are selling using this type of, and you've seen them, and they're often videos, they're animated sometimes for diet things, whatever it is. But there's always a voiceover on these, and these companies are investing millions of dollars every month in their advertising online and getting tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars a month back in revenue. I have one client that makes $100 million a month, Robert, in revenue from their video sales letters for nutritional products. Oh, so wow. The stakes are extremely high. So when I work with these companies, if they can get any kind of bump in their response by optimizing the sound of the voice on the video sales letters, it means huge amounts of money for them. So that's how I've taken my business in voiceover and gone to the next level to a broader group of people. And I also work with individuals that have to give presentations to really help them optimize their voice. So this is something that almost nobody does. Marketers don't realize it's almost like the last frontier. They optimize everything. They optimize the copy in the scripts. They optimize the web page, the colors of their presentations. But they might, put a certain voiceover on. And sometimes they test one voice against the other. But once they have a voice that's pulling, there are certain tweaks and things that voice talent can do to optimize their performance. And often it's not a professional voice talent. So sometimes the person that's in the office that sounds real that they put on the video sales letter outpulls the professional voice talent. So that's the kind of work that I've been doing lately, and it's been great. It's been great for my clients. They've really noticed a big gain.
Yeah, that is super interesting. That these people creating the VSLs, the video sales letters, maybe they found settled on a voice, but they don't have all these years of voice acting experience that you have. Whereas where they need a certain inflection or a certain emotion to get a bigger bump in their conversion rate. So that's super cool that you're able to maybe translate that skill from before into what there is now. And it sounds like your business has evolved over time in a couple of ways, right? Like on one hand, it used to be just things like radio and TV, but now because of the internet, there's video sales letters. So there's a whole frontier for you there. But then also the fact that you've removed yourself from a lot of the business, sort of like in a lot of ways, like how you'll see like an actor on TV, once they maybe get tired of acting, they move into, directing or producing, things like that, where the skills translate from one thing to another, where it's not just you doing the voices now you have this whole team and these other people, and it's more like it's evolved into a kind of production house. And that's super awesome how like, if you had just stayed in the same place and kept doing the same things, then that might have had diminishing returns over time, but you've updated things and kind of kept with the times.
Yeah, of course. I started from under my loft bed in a tiny studio apartment in New York City, and my clients were on file cards, and I built this to what it is today, and I'm moving forward with it. Even I have bigger ideas and plans for it. But the point is that, people really don't realize the power of their voice. And whether you as a marketer, if you're a marketer, and I mean, this is a marketing podcast, you are doing presentations, you're hopefully on your website, talking to people, their videos of you or things where you're on your phone, everybody should be doing this. So I just want to give a plug that in the near future, I'm going to be, my new website is speaktoinfluence.com, which is the title of my book, my first book. That site is under construction right now, but I want to invite everybody who would like to be on my list. I'm about to launch a new product, Robert, under the Speak to Influence banner, which will be for every marketer, every business person who wants to be able to persuade, who wants to get out there and really maximize what they're doing, to tweak, to get a lift in their conversions. And by conversions, I mean, I'm not, it's like some people, like my one client, are, like I said, was investing tens of millions of dollars a year on advertising online. Most of us can't be doing that, but everybody is speaking in some format to grow their company. And what I've noticed, Robert, and maybe you can affirm this, is that a lot of younger people, they don't want to talk to anybody. They're hoping that, I just want to do it all online. I just want to be on my computer. I want to text my customers, and expect that I'm going to get any kind of result. Well, you might a little bit, but you're overlooking an incredible power tool, which is really the sound of your voice, which can be optimized in a way that a text or an email never can be. So I'm just hoping that people start to explore this potential for their own business at whatever level they're at. And so here's what I want people to do. Send me an email to VoicePro, VoicePro @greatvoice.com. I'm going to send you a free copy of my short book, a PDF I'll send you, the Persuasion Code. So VoicePro @greatvoice.com. That way you'll be on my list, and you'll be the first to know when I launch Speak to Influence, which should be in the next couple of months. And you'll have some opportunities there to really play with a lot of the stuff I'm talking about, to really use it and grow your own business.
Well, fantastic. Well, thanks for providing that resource. So once again, the email to send to Susan is voicepro @greatvoice.com, and ask her for a copy of the Persuasion Code PDF, and she'll shoot that over to you. So that way that you know what you need to know about marketing your voice, about tapping into this new income stream. And we also mentioned speaktoinfluence.com, which is coming out soon, and greatvoice.com. And did we miss any resources here, Susan? If people listened today to your advice, your story, are those great places to go, or are there any other links you want to drop here?
Well, like I said, greatvoice.com if you want voice talent, or you want to get started in voiceover. And if you want to explore how I might be able to help you with your own personal speaking, and, using these techniques to increase conversions of any online marketing or voiceovers that you're doing for your business. I don't know who your audience is here, Robert, if there are businesses or individuals. But you'll find me at VoicePro @greatvoice.com. It's the Great Voice Company. I'll give the phone number too, Robert, if anybody wants to call the office. We love to talk to people on the phone.
I hope so, right?
Yeah, sure. It's we're in New Jersey. It's 800-333-8108. 800-333-8108. And we're here, generally from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Super great. And so it sounds like there are two possible avenues depending on who's listening here. If you're a business and you're looking for a voice talent, then check out greatvoice.com. But also, if you're someone who maybe you don't have things figured out yet, or if you're maybe a wannabe voiceover artist, but you say, I've only gotten so many results from trying it out myself, and now I know that I need outside help, I need that plan, I need those connections that a team would give me, then also check out greatvoice.com to market yourself better and tap into this income stream. And so you've given us a lot here to think about, Susan. And what's really funny about this voiceover stuff in general is up until I kind of looked into some of this voiceover stuff, it didn't really occur to me that every time I saw like an ad on YouTube or a commercial on TV or things like that, it never occurred to me that a person was saying that voice. Like you said, the voice actors were so good that they disappeared into the message a little bit, but now I can't not notice it, right? Every time there's a commercial, I'm thinking now, geez, there's someone out there who spoke out that script and they were maybe paid one time and sometimes paid the big bucks or got those royalties or some kind of a blend. So there's all this money to be made out there as far as getting your voice out there. But then, like we said, on the opposite side of things, that there are these businesses out there and maybe they have maybe like a bad voiceover, or they've just had someone in the office do it, and there's a lot of extra money to be picked up off the table if only you'd hire a real voice talent and have some of these producers, or I'm not sure what the right term is, but have someone to maybe deliver the right fit for that message. And so Susan and her people at greatvoice.com are the people for that. And that phone number that Susan mentioned, 800-333-8108. And when you call, tell them that Robert Plank sent you. And so otherwise, we'll see you at greatvoice.com. And then the email to get the book again, voicepro@greatvoice.com. And thanks so much, Susan. I know that you're pressed for time, but I appreciate you being generous with your time with us and coming by and being honest and sharing your story and telling us what we all need to know about this exciting world of voice talent. So I really appreciate it.
Sure, Robert. Thank you for the invitation.
If you're a future podcaster, new podcaster, existing podcaster, or you're looking to make more money with your podcast with less time, you owe it to yourself to check out doneforyoupodcasting.com. We handle any or all of your podcasting needs. Go to doneforyoupodcasting.com right now.